Let's go. Would everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Remain standing for an invocation. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Lord, as we gather this evening, we thank you for this wonderful town that we live in and the privilege that it is to serve it. We thank you for the season that's upon us. And we ask that we all have the compassion and courage that we need moving forward. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Call to order the December 19th meeting of the 2023 of the Mooresville Town Council. Gentlemen have had a chance to read the minutes of the meeting. I need a motion to approve or amend.
Make the motion, we approve the minutes as written.
Motion been made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstain.
Abstain.
302. Under unfinished business, we have the ordinance amending the salary ordinance that was adopted in 2022. This would be an ordinance approving a bonus across the board for the employees. This would be a bonus that would be paid this year, correct? Paid this year. Yes, if it passes. This is the $200,000 that we additionally appropriated out of our ARP, or American Recovery Funds. I know that the bonuses have been a topic of discussion for 4 years. I know that they went from small amounts to graduated amounts to amounts for different departments. If anything, I am glad that it has been made even or equal across the board for all of the employees. Are there comments, Jeff?
Yeah, I just have a comment. I think that we've tried this for our third time now. I think it was deserved the first time we tried to get it done, and I still believe it's deserved tonight, and I hope it passes.
Hank?
Agreed.
Josh?
I have none.
Greg? This is a public hearing on the ordinance. Is there anyone from the public that wants to speak either for or against this ordinance? I need a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Yeah. Jeff.
Motion to close.
Motion to close. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor? Aye. Jeff, Josh, 5-0. Motion to approve Ordinance 17, 2023, amending the 9/2022 salary ordinance. This is amendment number 2. Motion been made. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Merry Christmas, employees.
Jeff, Josh,
Been a long
5-0.
time coming. I'm glad you got it.
Oh my God. This back over here. Next item on the agenda is the ordinance 18, 2023. This is the rezone of the property at 805 North Indiana Street. This was before the council at our last meeting. This is the property right south of the Nazarene Church, the old Harvey Richer property.
It's a vacant lot.
Well,
Next to the
actually, there's a house there now.
Okay.
That house is owned by the Hopwood family, and that is a large lot, if you
Okay.
remember. And then there were two doubles that sit directly south of it.
Got it.
It came to us with a positive recommendation, and the recommendation was accepted by the town council. This is ordinance 18, drawing that property into a change of use on that property from R1 to R2. I need a motion for that for ordinance 18.
I'll make that motion. We approve ordinance 18-2023.
Motion been made. Do I have a second?
Okay.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Josh, Greg, 5-0. Dean Mayfield.
Evening, gentlemen and ladies. Wanted to come before you tonight and let you know the Anthem Disability Insurance is up actually January 1st. No change in the premium. It's the same as it's been for probably the last 10 years, even though we've had some disability claims. So I just need approval to renew that. The dental insurance has increased by 8% this year. But when I went back, this is the first increase we've had since 2017. So for 7 years, it was flat, and it's going up 8% this year, which is actually $2 per employee. It's going from $21.35 to $23.06, so not even $2. That's all I got. I just need approval to let them know both of them to renew.
And the Anthem disability, that is outside of the 1977 PERF and then also
Correct.
the workers' comp.
Correct.
This would be a disability that was caused
Short-term
for,
disability, and it pays at 60% of whatever their wages are. And we cover all of the employees, even though some are covered under the civilian PERF, some are covered under the Police and Fire 77. Both of those plans only pay at 50%, so when we've had, say, a police officer that's been injured, they get the 60% benefit and the two plans coordinate. So they don't get both. They don't get 110%. They get 60 and the two plans coordinate. And ours is actually a little quicker to pay than the PERF plan.
questions for Dean? We have these listed individually. I need a motion on the Delta Dental renewal.
Motion to renew Delta Dental.
Motion been made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Greg, Josh, 5-0. Motion on the Anthem disability renewal.
Motion to renew Anthem Disability.
Been made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Greg, Josh, 5-0.
Thank you. Merry Christmas. Will Diana be in to sign anything, or? Okay, I'll just email it to her. Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is the Tharp Investment Southbridge. Do you want to wait a little bit, or?
No.
Okay.
If I may just hand out a diagram very
Thank you.
quickly.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Bill Niemeyer, and I am with Tharp Investments. We are here this evening, believe it or not, we're not asking for anything. So I'm just here this evening to make an informational presentation. And as I told Mr. Sweeney, my goal is to be very brief. Years ago, we came in before the town council and we received approval to reconfigure the shopping center, specifically to allow for the Edwards transmission at the far end of one of the buildings. When that was approved, there was a condition that no changes to the buildings, the exterior, the foundations, the footprints, no additions, could be completed until a right exit lane was installed. And I'm here this evening to apologize that that lane is not already installed. It should have been and it would have been, but for our discovery of some electrical lines, some fiber optic lines that were in the area where the drive lane was going to be, and in some places the electric line was only 12 inches deep. So in no way could we allow the electric line to stay where it was and put in the exit lane. And then, as fate would have it, weather changed on us, so the asphalt plants have closed. We have the permits from NDOT to install that lane. We have permission from CVS, from all required parties. We're ready now. The electric will be relocated within a week or two. So as soon as the asphalt plants open in the early spring, that lane will be installed within 2 weeks. When we received the approval for the Edwards transmission, and I numbered, there's 4 different areas that I've shaded in yellow. Item 3 is an addition to the east side of the existing Shell gas station. And that will be some form of a quick service restaurant. We understand we cannot start to build that until the exit lane is in. We are also at the same time looking at a complete reconfiguration of the shopping center. And that leads me to number 1. Number 1 is an area where we have obtained a national tenant to go in there, and they require a drive-through. So we understand that we can begin the internal build-out. In fact, one of the things that we will be doing shortly, and when I say shortly, within probably 3 weeks or so, we will be submitting plans for the interior build-out of the area that's number 1 for review. And we understand that adding the drive-through window we can't do until item 4 is taken care of. At the same time, the area that's shaded and labeled as number 2, we are going to reconfigure the rear of the Advance Auto so that vehicles can actually travel in the area that currently is blocked off with curbing and grass. And that will allow for easier deliveries to that building and specifically to the Advanced Auto. So before we went too far, we wanted to come this evening and just briefly explain that we do have on the very near horizon plans to make a very significant investment into the Southbridge Shopping Center. It's possible that we may come in and ask for permission at a later date, just depending on the timing. But at this point, we think we're going to be able to coordinate everything without doing any changes to exterior buildings or footprints until after the exit lane is installed. So we just wanted to come and make that presentation this evening.
Are you taking questions?
Absolutely.
So with the turn lane, you're talking about going out of the CVS area.
Correct. And it'll be a right exit lane only.
Yeah, I never understood how that got approved without that to start with back originally, because it would help bleed traffic off so much.
And you know, it was probably approved so long ago that nobody anticipated the type of congestion that there's going to be, because you could currently sit there if you're trying to exit to the right for 3 or 4 light cycles.
I know, it's terrible.
It is absolutely terrible, and this will alleviate that.
Have you had contact with the property owner there, and in other words, CVS? Have you had
We have
any?
100% approval from them.
Really? That's good news.
Absolutely. Yes.
In writing?
In writing, absolutely.
That's good news.
That's gonna shut off that one
Yeah.
exit.
Yes,
Yeah,
the
they're looking at
exit
putting it
on the
turning.
CVS property that's closest to 67, that will absolutely be closed. And that's going to force the traffic to the south and around and to enter the exit lanes in a much more orderly manner. They won't, because the biggest hazard currently is if you come out of CVS and you want to go south, you have to cross 2 lanes of traffic to do so. And all of that will be eliminated.
Yeah, and their let's see, most western exit, I guess it would be, is almost useless because the cars line up in front of you, a lot so
Absolutely.
much. What did you say about number 1?
Number one, part of what we will be in the process of doing, and we've started, we need to realign, move, adjust our current tenant base. So the area that is shaded and labeled number 1, that will become a national chain that requires a drive-through. And because that particular chain will include substantial stacking of vehicles, you can see we have shown where the vehicles will come out into the drive lane and go to the west away from the intersection. And if they need to, more than what we've shown, although I don't think that will occur, but if it were, it will then wrap around and go along the Edwards transmission property. So I don't anticipate having that many cars unless they announce, for whatever reason, they're giving their product away for free. But we have definitely designed the traffic flow to accommodate a substantial number of vehicles in the drive-through lane.
That turn lane will be huge if you get that done.
And I guess I should also mention on the other, it's not labeled, but one of the other changes that will occur, there is the ice cream parlor that currently, because it's a former bank building, and it has an awning and what used to be the drive-through, and that will be removed, again, just to help traffic go through that area.
Will they still be able to retain their drive-through?
We don't know. Possibly, but it definitely won't have the overhang area. And we certainly look forward to working with Tim Bennett and the permitting. And again, this evening, we just wanted to come and start to explain what it is we're doing and appreciate the opportunity to do so.
Forward to it.
Thank you. And if there are any other questions, I'm happy to answer anything that I can. I can't disclose who the national tenant is just yet, but I'm probably about 2 weeks away from having a signed lease. And when we start submitting permit plans, the name will be on there. But it will be a very good addition. Very good. Thank you very much.
You appreciate it.
Sure, real quick, what is this right here? That little outline.
That's just parking.
Okay, so that parking stays.
Yes.
Okay. I can't read it, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Yep.
Next item on the agenda is the Baker Tilly ARPA engagement letter. Through the training seminars and webinars that the State Board of Accounts has had on the ARPA funds, requirements that will go along with them, we reached out to Baker Tilly to ask them if they could help us to comply with all the audit paperwork that we would need in order to do this. The last thing we want to do is mess something up and owe money back. They felt like that is something that they could do within the scope of their on-call work, but wanted to add it to the contract. This contract, there was originally a contract signed with them in 2021, and that was for their on-call services where they help us with various items such as the budget, the advertising for additional appropriations, and then they even, just as recently as this set of claims, helped us with the paperwork that we need to file for the census. Just required of us. I need a motion to approve the new contract. The pricing and everything basically stayed the same. It just added the ARPA funds work, scope of work.
And Tom, I know I talked to you through the week here. This will be paid for out of the ARPA funds, is that correct?
We can pay for their part, for the auditing portion of it. Not the whole contract, because there's other services that they will provide for us.
Right.
But yes, we can
With the
pay
ARPA.
for those with ARPA funds.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Jewel, in May of '21, this council passed an ordinance, I think it's 6-2021, establishing the ARPA fund. And in that ordinance, it laid out uses of ARPA funds, which included what we did tonight, like compensation to employees, as well as nonprofits. I did not see the words HVAC in that ordinance. Will there need to be, like specifically refer to HVAC, will there need to be an update to the original ordinance establishing the fund?
So you have the fund established. I think it adopted, and I don't have that ordinance in front of me,
Right.
but I think it adopted the uses of the federal government allowed, and those sorts of projects were specifically allowed. And then they broadened the scope of what ARPA dollars could be used for to be those that the general fund normally covers. And so I'll go back and look at that, but if you have a copy of that ordinance,
I can get it to you. Okay, I just wanted to make sure because it specifically mentioned those projects. So this is in addition to, the ordinance itself is not the ARPA plan.
no.
The ordinance establishing the fund.
So that is just the fund to open it up in the clerk treasurer's department so that they
It was
have-
sort of presented to me as though it was the actual ARPA fund, but through email transactions, but, okay, no problem. I just was curious.
Other questions? Do I have a motion?
Motion to accept the Baker Tilly add-on.
Motion been made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Great, Josh. 5-0. Encumbered funds. One have this. In our emails, we received a list of the encumbered funds. There was one that is in front of you now with a total of $77,000. There is a new one. We were told different things on our dump truck that was ordered. It was budgeted to pay for this year. We were told we wouldn't get it this year, then we were told that we would, and now it said somewhere between done and not done. Is that correct, Dave? Okay, the funding for that was budgeted for it. Came out of, 90% of it came out of LR&S, 10% of it came out of the Food and Beverage Fund. As the dump truck does pull the leaf vac, which is a integral part of our Rule 13 compliancy, as far as floatables and heavies getting into our storm sewer. The new, if we encumber that fund, or those funds, the total is $228,670. They were budgeted this year. They're both non-reverting funds. They can stay in that fund, but that would take away from what we have budgeted for next year. They're already budgeted for this year, and that has been added to the list. That would bring the total of the list to $305,872.76. If you have those, there are, Park and Rec is working with a subsidiary of Wallace Construction on the crack sealing and seal coating of the trails. Fire department has some equipment. That equipment, some of that is a matching grant funds. Those were budgeted for this year, and we just haven't received them. I think they have been ordered. The furniture has been ordered, but they just cannot get it here in time. The police department, the great thing, and I called Kerry, and he has found somewhere in his budget an additional $10,000 to buy 4 flock cameras to add to our, how many we got now? Oh, it's for the 4 that we have? I thought we were going to get an additional one.
We're going to get an additional couple of them.
Oh.
We'll be locked in at the 1,500 cameras.
Okay. So, are there questions of any one of the department heads that are here?
Have you already ordered it looks like you're getting another canine fully funded? Pardon me?
It'll be the third and last one that we get.
Thank you.
Dave, will that truck, will it come in cab and chassis, or will it be completely outfitted when it comes in?
It'll be completely outfitted, bed and plow.
Okay, good. Ready to go to work.
Questions or comments? Motion to approve additional appropriations? Oh, encumbrances.
To approve encumbered funds?
Motion been made, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Greg, Josh, 5-0. Next item on the agenda is a resolution 32, 2023. This is the Community Crossings approving the transfer of funds from the MVH restricted to a matching grant fund. Dave announced that we were given the past grant award for paving in this spring. We were granted the full $1 million, well, what was it, $997,000, just shy of $1 million for the projects. There are some items that Dave was going to have to go back through and delete, but we were assured that we could do that. Questions for Dave? Motion to
When will that list come out of streets? Like, will it be just, can you put it on the website or something so people can see?
On the website, we have it ready for advertisement. Through this,
Right.
I can publish that. Bring us tomorrow.
Okay.
I guess I misunderstood this. I thought we'd already done it.
They get their portion this year, and then we transfer our portion to the fund to pay the claims this year.
But we've already paid the claims, so is that just going to clear up the fund?
Yeah.
I apologize. I misunderstood this completely. This is transferring the $256,000 from the MVH restricted fund to pay for the project that we're doing this year. I apologize. That is the Monroe Street project. So I misunderstood the conversation that I had on that one. So this would be for the project that we've already done. Which
It's
we've
our
already-
match, correct?
We've already paid. It's
Yeah.
our match.
Yeah.
And we've already paid, but this will clean up the funds.
Okay.
My apologies. Motion?
Motion to pass Resolution 32, 2023.
Motion been made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Made and seconded. All in favor? Aye. Dane Josh, 5-0.
So the next item on your agenda is the Packmore dedication and deed of public right-of-way. This is a document that's been prepared for Packmore processes, technologies, and improvements that they've done there. I've spoken to Dave, we've had communication, he's looked at the road, it is up to compliance for us. What I need from the council this evening is just a vote to say that you will accept the dedication and deed of public right-of-way of that Packmore Drive into the town of Morrisville. So I don't need you to execute this yet today because I need them to take action on theirs, but just that you will be accepting that drive. You won't sign it.
This is the road that will go back to the Patel property where they're building the, new. So,
But not
questions?
any of the new road, just the completed road that's.
The road that Dave has taken a look at.
Comments or questions? The action that we need to take is that we will,
Accept the dedication and deed of public right-of-way. So you're basically saying that this will become a public road of the town of Morrisville.
comments? Motions?
Motion to approve the dedication and deed of public right-of-way at Packmore.
Motion been made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Greg Shane, 5-0. Street fair schedule, Regina Shelby.
Hello, everyone. So I gave Debbie the street fair permit for next year for the street closers for 2024 street fair dates. For those, obviously, again, I work with Hallie at 5 East to make sure that we don't interrupt any of her scheduled events for the year. Her and I try to work together to make sure we get Saturdays on the same page. This year, it's May 11th, July 20th, and September 14th.
Say those one more time, please.
May 11th, July 20th, and September 14th.
Thank you.
Street closures will be the same as they always are, as far as where the street gets blocked off, and it'll be from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., just like last year, or this year.
We already have the 4-day event in April, correct?
That is correct. Streets will be closed for 3.5 days for April.
And the permit's here? I haven't seen it.
It's right there.
Oh, okay. Department heads have all signed off.
They have. Special request is Matt asked that I keep things out of the center of the street so that emergency vehicles can go through if need be. And then, as always, Gary asked that we have hard barricades. I am currently trying to find a new solution for hard barricades for this coming year.
When do you think you'll have that together?
It's going to have to be done before May, right?
Questions or comments?
September 14th.
Jeff, I know you and I spoke about this, and we talked about coming up with something different. I personally would like to try to figure out the hard barrier solution and a solution before we approve anything. That's just my 2 cents worth. You and I talked about that.
Sure, I mean, I'm open for anything. If you've got a solution, we'd like to hear it if we can help out.
The suggestion that I'm working on right now is I've actually found rolling gates that we can put up, so they're about 4.5 feet tall. They're on wheels. They go across the road to block off the road for the day until the street fair is over, and then they can be rolled back up. And
Will that stop a car?
no, Kerry and I were actually discussing that this afternoon when I was in his office. We've talked about different things that we can do with that. I mean, because they are on wheels, they will not stop a car, but they do block the road a little bit better than the wooden barricades that we would normally use. So they're better seen.
Yeah, my opinion would be we need something to stop a car,
Yeah.
you know, and if we have to get the street department back down there, I'm in favor of that also, so.
Hey, Kerry, you want to chime in on this one?
He already has on the permit, he says heavy barricades are required on all
Right.
major streets.
Yeah, so we talked about the
The
those gates,
Mhm.
and the only other thing I could think would be to put stop sticks on their side of those. But,
Which is still not gonna stop the car.
no, but they do have the T-walls that fill full of water, and they'll stop a car, and then you can drain them out, and they're pretty light. You can move them around. So what we could do was block off Main Street on both ends, and then Indiana
At
on
one
the,
end.
on the north end, and then just put one on the south end and have one of my vehicles there to let vendors in and out and make sure they know to come in and out that way. And then once we get everybody established, if it's going to be more than one day, we'll just put another one there. We can easily drain it and move it. So hydrant can fill them really quick. So
Will you accept a motion?
Do what?
Will you accept a motion?
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve the permit for the dates as approved. However, with the caveat that the chief of police and the fire chief both sign off on the barricades that are going to be used in the future for public safety, not the members of the council who aren't public safety members.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Jeff, in favor? Again, I'm sorry.
Aye.
Opposed? I want to get a little more information.
I do too.
We'll get through it.
Figure out a solution.
Thank you, guys.
Same Jeff, 3-2. 2 was, I guess we need to. Department heads.
Good evening. First, I'd like to start by thanking the council for the additional bonus. It's very generous, and on behalf of everyone in my department, we are grateful. Thank you. And then I've kind of got a year-end report here. A couple of new things going on. Old Dominion started moving dirt down at the site at Merriman and Bethel Road. There's a stoplight in the works for Merriman and 67 there. The Patel site that's just north of what used to be Packmore, there's some development moving forward on that.
So to go back and talk about some things that happened this past year, obviously the Monroe Street project, it's finishing up. It looks great. I think it's going to have a great deal of safety for everyone there. We lined about 3,500 feet of sanitary sewer line. We coated the inside of 10 manholes, trying to help seal up our sanitary sewer system. Our online cemetery map is going. It's been very helpful. A lot of positive comments on that. High Street has been completed. That was a long project. Can't take credit for that. It was a state project, but it improved Mooresville greatly. And so something else I've never done before, talking to Tim Bennett, he issued 54 single-family house permits this year and 3 commercial permits. He did 577 inspections, and yeah, that's about it. Any questions?
Dave, was he going to ask a question?
No, go ahead.
Sammy Davis, the Medal of Honor recipient, has committed to come during our 200th anniversary. Will you work with Banning to come up with a design on a sign that can be presented to the future council for a street naming?
I think Red worked. Did you order that? Red worked on that. He's got the order in place already with Hall Sign. It takes them a few months to get a special order.
Couple weeks.
Should be in.
Because the council's not actually approved that street naming, so that'll need to be presented.
Okay.
I think it'll take just a resolution, but that needs to be done, at least presented. And I want to thank you very much for always working well with me and with the work that you've done for the town. I appreciate it very, very much.
Thank you, and same to you. Thank you for coming on the council. You dedicated the last 4 years, and you worked hard. You fought a lot of fights, and you stood up for a lot of people, and we appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome, Dave.
Thanks.
Thank you, Dave. Eric. Oh, man.
Good evening. If you remember last council meeting, I was talking to you guys about our air packs. With talking with legal counsel, I did find that 2 companies, I had the town clerk's office send that stuff out to you. One was Donnelly Safety for MSA, and then MAS for Scott. Basically, just wanting to try to move forward with that, since our air packs are going to be at the end of their life at the end of this month.
So in my discussions with the chief, it was, instead of going out and creating bids and going out and having specs to try and go through that process, if there was an existing QPA from the state that you could utilize, that may streamline it. And it appears that there are 2, and 1 are the same sort of packs that you currently have, correct?
Correct.
So you don't have to bid, it's already been done through the QPA.
I'm sorry, go ahead. One's with Sourcewell, and the other one was with the state QPAs.
Since these are all up at the end of the month.
I think that's a discussion that we can have to discuss those things. I would say that the chief has presented that the packs need to be addressed, so.
And you did receive from FEMA
We did receive a FEMA, myself and Debbie did receive it Friday or Thursday of last week, something like that, that we denied for that grant. As you and I have talked, Tom, is that we tried to hold off as long as we could to get that taken care of, to see if we had that funding there.
It was denied, right? Is that what you
It was
said? Okay.
denied.
How quickly can we get air pass?
Both companies are saying anywhere from 3 to 6 months.
Is budgeted for in your, through LRNS, or Lowit, Public Safety Lowit next year? I need a motion for the council to either table or order air packs.
What was the total? The only thing I think's in my packet's a letter. I don't
Did
see
you
it.
see the quotes?
I haven't seen, they're not in my packet,
I
I
didn't
don't
see it.
think.
One, one quote, which is MSA, that was $274,281.60. And that's through the state. And then the air packs that we are currently wearing, which was with MES, and those are Scott's, which was $403,210 with a $20,000 trade-in value.
Say those numbers again.
MSA, which is Donnelly Safety, was $274,281.60. And then MES was $403,210. If we go with MSA, I will need an additional $12,300 to redo our air pack brackets that are in our apparatuses.
That's what I was gonna ask. Was that include a new cascade system or?
It's not a cascade system, it's just the brackets that go into our
They go
trucks.
into that.
Since we've been in Scott for the last 10 years, these bottles and new packs that we're going, if we go with Scott again this year, or for the next 10 years, then we won't have to change any of those brackets. If we go with
Is that at
MSA,
the firehouse and the truck?
that's just the trucks. The
So
Cascade,
the only way to fill them would be on the truck, so we
no,
don't.
no, the Cascade system is already,
Okay,
it's good, we can still fill without any changes. It's just the brackets that hold the trucks, or in the trucks. My recommendation is to go ahead and stay with the Scotts. If you guys saw my letter, we have a neighboring department that's had some issues. MSA's changed something in their packs, and they're having some people that are breaking out with their air masks, having an allergic reaction with either like a latex allergy or something. We don't know what's going on.
How are they addressing that?
They're still working with MSA, and MSA is not getting back with them. Letter from Chief Mills.
from who?
Chief Mills.
I'll take that.
Or I sent it to the clerk's office. They're the ones that they've changed something up in their mask, and that's causing their employee to have some medical issues.
And MES is giving you a trade-in value of what, 20,000?
20,000, yes, sir. Which puts that price at that 400,000.
Oh, it does.
Oh, I thought that was,
That's already added into the figures.
MSA said anything about anybody else having any trouble? Or-
So, in our email group with the Indiana Fire Chiefs Association, that's one of those benefits that we can email all the chiefs in the state of Indiana. Other areas have had the same issues and not getting addressed with MSA.
Both of them are on state bids, that far apart.
That's I've asked Donley if they had an updated, and that's the only one they have.
So the Donley MSA packs, I think, are on the state bid. So the state went out and procured. Sourcewell is another QPC that does this, that the state accepts their bidding processes to act as that. And so I think we've actually bought some items from Sourcewell in the past as well. So it's two different bidding agencies, but both are accepted for the procurement process for bidding. So is your question, do we have to take the lowest number? There are different things that can come in the variances in that the Sourcewell has been approved as a proper bid that you can accept. If there are unique instances where you find things that's in the realm of like a public works project, you don't always have to take the lowest bid. It's the lowest responsible bidder. The question here would be, are they providing the same service and quality of product that doesn't open up other potential expenses? I mean, I think that's where the chief's going with what he's talking about. But I mean, I don't know anything about what would cause these issues.
Spoken to MSA about this?
With the quotes, yes. Or with the,
The other departments are having?
because we don't have them.
It's gonna take, what, 2 months, 2 to 3 months?
3 to 6 months.
And if this is the first that I'm hearing about that issue, I can work with the chief as well to get additional information as to what the underlying issue there is and find out what else there is across the state utilizing those packs if there are similar problems. And then, to be fair, we should probably reach out the same way with the MES ones as well to see if there's any issues with the MESs.
Of course, it's the holiday season, I mean.
But we can reach out, I'll reach out tomorrow.
Matt, do you have a problem with that?
No, I just do know that there will be a price increase coming the first of the year or sometime around that area. I just don't know when. They just said first of the year.
Is that for the Donley or is that for?
That's for both.
Because the Sourcewell, I thought, says good until May 2024.
That's my understanding from both companies that was going to increase the first of the year. But I don't know how that works if they're on a bid like that. I don't know if it's a product increase, or do you know that answer?
I mean, it all depends upon how they were procured in the agreement.
You know what you budgeted for 2024? I see this year's appropriation report, it was 100,000 for air packs.
That was switched, Shane.
Okay.
Those numbers were wrong. It was the 300,000.
Oh, okay, so it's the other capital? Oh, okay.
Jewel.
And we knew that, or we thought we were going to be able to get the FEMA grant, so we did go ahead and budget the same 300,000 for this coming year.
And this says, this report says there's 101,000 that's unexpended. Is that correct? From this year?
Total, yes, in the lower, because we didn't do the 100,000 was actually for a remodel of the station.
Mm-hmm.
The new-
Yep, yep.
I think he's bought a few things out of that.
Five.
So, buying these air packs, is that the bare minimum? Is that buying extras? What is that doing?
That is exactly what we have now with 2 extras, I believe.
What we have now, do we have extras now?
4 for training, yes.
Did you encumber these funds?
No.
The 101? I'm sorry?
Wouldn't be able to encumber the money
Because
because
he
he
hasn't-
doesn't have a
he doesn't have an
quote or
order.
a
Yeah, that's
solid
correct. Yep.
number.
Because that would, if the timing was right, that would have given them.
I am looking. Yeah, from where I see, and I see it on your printout as well, it has the maturity date of the firefighting PPE Sourcewell quote as 5/7/2024, so I think those are locked until, the Sourcewell prices at least are locked until 5/27, or 5/7/2024.
Comments from the council or a motion?
Wait till we find out a little bit something. Table it till maybe the next meeting.
Josh?
I agree. I think he needs to have Jewel work with, see where we're at with, if he's found any other issues with the equipment.
Shane?
Yep.
Jeff?
I think it's an important piece of equipment, obviously. So I think we need to get the best we can get for them.
So is that a motion to table and have Jewel work with him?
We'll have it at our next meeting.
Yes.
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Greg, Josh, 5-0. Anything else?
So I did go to the RDC. They did give us, the department, $50,000 for our sign. I am still waiting on quotes for the building here. And then also at that point in time, once we get quotes, I'll get those over to you, the council, and then also get with Tim Bennett and get things checked to make sure that those can be put up for building permits and all that stuff. Thank you to the council, excuse me, for the bonuses. I know the guys will appreciate that. Also, just one little thing also, Santa is going to be coming through town again on on Friday. And this time it'll be over here in the town area, about 6 o'clock. So I have nothing further unless you guys got any questions.
Where do we stand on a assistant chief?
right now, we don't have an assistant chief.
Are you looking or holding off or?
Right now, I have not, since that just took place, of him resigning.
That's all I.
Just want to make the same comment. Thank you for working with me and protecting Mooresville. It was a pleasure working with you, Matt. So
Thank you. I hope everything works out best for you and your new chapter.
thank you. It will.
Thank you.
Doing well.
Thank you. Guys, have a Merry Christmas.
Chief, right here. That letter. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
I got that. I'll get that.
I don't have a whole lot to put out. We are losing two officers at the end of this month. Officer Capps and Officer Smith are both leaving to go to other departments, which put us down for two. Officer Richards is due to retire in March, year which will put us down three, but I'm working on that. We had the Christmas for Kids. Josh showed up. It was a good time. We spent about $8,400 on 30-something kids, about $300 a piece, and they got a lot of cool stuff. Matt hooked us up with a nice Santa Claus, came and gave the kids some gifts, and then we gave the families some gifts to give them to them Christmas morning. And the Churches and Missions also gave them food and some more goodies. So it really was a successful. And, you know, the local businesses really help out a ton. And I'll be going around each one of those. The Eagles help us out every year, Badger Creek. And then Kroger always kicks in. We got Jack's Donuts. We had free donuts. Other than that, I appreciate you encumbering those funds. That will help us out a ton on the flock cameras. And that way, I figure if we can get ahead of it, we can order more flock cameras and stay reasonable in budget. Those things have been super successful. I think we've had like 2,800 hits just in the town on either wanted people, stolen cars, and we had to turn the suspended driver thing off because there's too many of them. So, yeah, that's been a great thing, and I appreciate you hooking us up with those. Those are a great tool. Like, obviously, I told you last time that they were a key part in solving the theft from automobiles that we had. I'm getting a Humvee. It was free. It's free though. I got a free Humvee coming. It's through the DRMO. It's already painted black, and I already have the lights and stuff on it. It'd be good for the parades and stuff like that. And if we have a bad snow, it's 4-wheel drive. So. And thank you for
Are you
the bonus.
joking?
No, I'm not joking.
Okay.
Do I joke?
Well, you're laughing, so I can't tell.
Keep it light.
He wanted a dirigible.
I did. I actually wanted a Buffalo, but
Here and said you were getting Escalades, so, and that was a joke.
well, yeah. Those are working out well, the TVs and that. But we're on that, Chevrolet told us that they're only getting a third of what they requested. The local private dealers are not going to get any. And it's all has to do with the strike and them being $1 billion in the hole. They get 20 grand off of regular Tahoes and only 2 off of police Tahoes. So obviously they're going to sell more, personal Tahoes. I put in within my budget restraints for 3, and we'll see if we can get 3. They only went up a few dollars this year, a few $1,000. And Ford's not making police cars this year, and I'm in and out of the Dodges. I've heard bad things. I haven't heard anything good so far about them, so I want something we have to fix all the time. So other than that, I want to just kind of echo what Officer Case told you the other day. I only got to work with you for a year and some change, but you've always been good to me, and you've been good to the police department, and I appreciate what you've done before I got here and since I've been here. So.
Thank you, Chief. I appreciate you cleaning it up down there. I appreciate what you've done with the SOPs and all of the arrests that are going on. You've solved some crime around here. I'm proud of that, and the drug bust. And
I got a good crew. What can I say?
yeah, I'm proud of that. So,
Like I said, we probably going to take laterals if you ever want to come back, Jeff. get you on late shift.
All right.
Yeah.
See, in Martinsville, Slayer, I might be going.
Oh, yeah, Martinsville's got a huge raise, so
Yeah, they did.
hopefully we don't leak any more bodies out, so. Unless you have anything for me, that's all I have. I hope you all have a good Christmas.
One quick question for you on the process. Where are we at with that? Do we have a list, or are you having to start?
No, we'll have to, I had Amanda put a notice out on ILEA, but also have two reserves that actually came on the reserve program so they can come on full-time, and they're both two young ladies in their 20s. They're very passionate about what they're doing. They've really worked hard to get their, to meet all the standards for ILEA.
Okay.
So I'm going to give them a shot, and then we'll be down one. I'll post that and hopefully get, last time we had quite a few applicants, so.
Okay.
We had a list, and it kind of expired.
Got it.
And we had one that we hired and then went to Morgan County, so.
One last thing, I appreciate you checking into and taking seriously what the State Board of Accounts found and with a former employee that was overpaid. So I hope this council doesn't sweep it under the rug and they address it and try to recoup taxpayers' funds.
All right, anything else? All right, thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Good evening, Park Superintendent. I'd like to just bring to the council's attention, as the last meeting, we refused the proposals that we received for the security cameras and doors. During the time frame from that meeting to now, we have redrafted that proposal, and it is ready for release upon the council's approval. We have identified within the new system requirements item 4, which is a recurring service agreement fee. The remaining RFP has not changed in scope of service of what we are requesting to receive for proposals. We have refined the images for the examples of where the current system is and where new cameras or doors are to be added with the system. Tonight, I am just asking for the council's approval to release the RFP to receive the proposals. The timeline of this would hit the second meeting in January for the council to open those publicly, unless the council has a change of time frame.
Comments?
You need a motion?
I do.
I make the motion, we allow Phil to move forward with the RFP.
Motion been made, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Craig, 5-0.
Bill, same to you. Are you done?
No.
Oh, sorry, buddy.
Got a couple more things, but no worries. I am just wanted to kind of touch base that I am very appreciative to come on board with the park system. I've enjoyed my time this year. We have been able to accomplish a lot in a short period of time. A lot of that is due to the continued conversations that Councilman Williams helped us with the redevelopment commission, starting with the master plan process of Pioneer Park. Today we actually launched the schematic design process with our contractors, engineers, and architects. That will take us through end of March, early April, and design for schematic design. During that time frame, we've also allotted to explore the build, operate, transfer for this process. So we will be reaching out to legal counsel on the process. We are also working with the developers that helped write the book for public access for municipalities on the bot system. So we have a couple drafted RFPQs to be able to review and use as examples. Our hope is to hopefully release that in January after park board approval, but the process is very promising, not to say promising too many times. But ultimately, thank you, Councilman Williams and every council member on this board. really enjoyed working with each and every one of you this year. I look forward to continuing working for this community as the park superintendent. I love this community. Like I said when I first met you all, this is like I came home and I feel home. So I'm not planning on going anywhere anytime soon. For that, other than that, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays for everybody in the Mooresville community and surrounding, and that's all I have tonight.
Thank you for the kind words, and ditto, I've enjoyed working with you. Would you pass my thanks to the park board as well? They've really done a lot as well on their end as well, and the redevelopment commission has too. And maybe we can get some money out of the council in the upcoming years.
Absolutely, I'll pass off the kind words. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I'd like to answer any questions the council may have at this time.
Getting a lot of good feedback on the plans that you've put out there.
We're having a lot of fun doing so, and then we had a little too much fun today going through those designs, but promising things are coming. So, thank you.
Alvin, do you have anything?
I'd like to thank the council also. That over there at the plant. Our outfall is in the process of being cleaned at this very week. It should be done at the latest Thursday. We found rocks, roots, baffles from ones that had come off, so hopefully we'll have it done and we'll be able to open it up and be free-flowing and satisfy the state requirements. And we've successfully reached our limits for November and December so far.
The same to you. Thank you for, we haven't had a lot of one-on-one connection, but you worked through some difficult times.
Yeah.
Over the last several years, really. And so I appreciate your service to the town. You've done a good job.
It's a great little plant. It really is. It's a nice one. It's one of the only VLRs in Indiana. And we're the one that everybody comes to when they want to ask questions. And there's a couple others around, but we were the first one.
Yeah. Well, I wish you the best in the future.
It's really been, it's a great job.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, well then
Legal counsel.
We've got a couple things for you to consider tonight. First is an access easement agreement. This is in connection with the Hill Water Corporation and their new treatment plant. We are actually the grantee, so Hill is granting us the right to access their property, and this is due to our stormwater ordinance and the need to access that area in emergency situations if there's a 100-year flood. And so they're wanting to grant us access via this easement. So this document is here, and it only requires a signature of Tom. So again, if you would consider accepting the access easement agreement that we require in our stormwater ordinance, that would be greatly appreciated.
Is that your way of saying we should do it?
You need a motion? Motion to accept the
Access easement.
access easement for Hill Water Corporation?
Motion been made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Second, real quick update, Haley, who is a new associate with us, she went over to town court today, had fun with Tim, dealing with 315 Bolton, so that is the units there, and was able to get an order for, to vacate by tomorrow at 4 o'clock, I believe, so getting that one addressed and moving forward. Outside of that, I don't have any other legal updates.
Jewel, if I may, it's been a pleasure working with you. I thank you very much. You've always been very professional with me, and I appreciate it.
I appreciate the change. I will tell you, during this 4 years, I got a lot of gray hairs between your and my phone calls, just talking through some issues, but
Yeah.
there are issues that needed to be addressed, so I appreciate it, and good luck. I'm sure I'll see you around.
Yeah, I'll see you. You're not going to get rid of me that easy.
Under legal, we need to schedule an executive session before our next meeting for two things. First one is for possible hiring, or promotions. And then the other issue would be possible litigation. If the council so agrees, I'd like to schedule that for 5:30 on the 2nd. Can I have that in the form of a motion?
It's fine with me.
Do you want to make that motion?
Executive session,
Did you like that one, Lance?
January 2nd, 5:30.
Motion been made, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Greg, Josh, 5-0.
I'll let you in. I'll let you in.
No, I don't think you better. I don't think that's lawful.
Public comments. Motion for approval of payment of claims.
Motion to approve claims in the amount of $1,323,865.68.
Motion been made, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Greg, Josh, 5-0.
Motion to approve payroll clearing in the amount of $193,076.73.
Motion been made, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor? Aye. Greg, Josh, 5-0.
It was an aye. Sorry, I was signing. I was an
I
aye.
thought you raised your hand.
I don't know if I did, but just want to be clear.
Town council comments. Jeffrey?
I've none.
Shane?
Thanks for the opportunity to serve Mooresville. I enjoyed it. Proud of my record, but I also want to thank you and honored to serve. Proud of our department heads and our employees, and I'm glad that they got the Christmas bonus tonight, so I thank the council for that. Thank the council for serving with me as well, the clerk's office, and all of those kinds of people. There's a lot of support staff like the attorney's law office as well. I mentioned them earlier, but thank you for the opportunity, and I want my last words to be, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Well, I'd like to thank Shane. It's only been a year, but it was fun. And I just want to know if your wife's flower is real.
It's not real, but it does say, what's it say?
It really stands out there.
Yes, I know, it's a little big, but it says support our Mooresville employees.
Oh.
And I tried to these, I had a bunch of homemade, so I'll always have that.
Yeah,
Very nice.
great family.
And I just want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, and we'll see you next year.
Shane?
There you go, that's fair.
Good luck in what you got coming up. So
I appreciate it, sir. Thank you. Same to you.
hope everybody has a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Talks about his gray hair. Really? There's a plaque in front of you that the clerk treasurer's got.
Thank you.
Shane, I think we all in our own minds try our hardest.
Amen.
Merry Christmas to everyone. Our next meeting will be January 2nd, 2024. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's. I need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Been made. Oh, wait a minute, I haven't asked for a second. Motion been made, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye. See you. Thanks, man. Nice words.
I know you're.
Shane, Greg, 5-0.